2011, we decided that it was time to take a new look and a new approach to how we help families facing multiple difficulties. Very often these families had found it difficult to find their way through the multiplicity of services that they needed to access. And so we've taken a new approach, and we hope that in this video that's to come, you'll see something of that new approach and the way in which it's helping families to cope. This is very much in line with the government's own agenda on troubled families.
Why are we doing this? Well, that's because we need a new approach. We need a new approach for families that treats families as a whole family and not just lots of interventions by individual services trying to deal with one issue. We've been trying that old way for a long time and it just hasn't had the impact that we need. So we need this new approach to really make a difference.
As the police, we are absolutely crucial partners in the long-term work taking place across our borough to support families who need help. Family breakdown has such a massive impact on children, on young people, and, as importantly, on the wider community.
Having looked at why we are investing in the Families First approach, let's look at some of the core principles underpinning this work.
The first one is working with the whole family. It's really important that we engage with every member of the family and people that are close to that family so that we come up with a solution that actually works for everyone involved. The second principle is engagement and trust. Many of these families have dealt with many agencies in the past and they don't actually necessarily have the trust and confidence to engage properly. So we have to find ways that wins that trust through engagement, being patient, being persistent, supporting, and sometimes when necessary, challenging to make sure we win the confidence of the family.
People like me spend most of our lives developing strategy. The strategies we develop are only as good as the life-changing impact that the work has on families. And already in our borough, we are seeing families who, with the help and support of the Families First team, are changing and turning their lives around, which is great news for children and young people and is good news for our communities.
To find out what the Families First programme means to those being supported by it, let's hear some of their reactions in their own words. Firstly, here is a young mum being supported by family worker Natasha Mason.
Tasha is the first person to really listen to me and do something about my son's school placement. He refuses to go to special school. He wants to go to a normal school. Everyone else has just made promises, but Tasha, she's actually doing something about it.
And now, another young mum, this time in conversation with her family support worker, Gary McLeod.
So what difference has the programme made to your son?
Well, since you've been involved, I can see a brighter future for him. Although he doesn't speak with anyone, his face lights up when he sees you and you trust you.
And for you?
I've got more confidence in myself, in the way I'm able to deal with things. I've been given a push, when it's been most needed.
After hearing from those two mums, let's return to our police commander for a more in-depth summary of the outcomes so far for one family in the programme.
Single mum who has 6 children. They're aged between 10 and 21. They're all boys. The boys have had some real difficulties. There's been quite a lot of violence within the family between the children, between the boys. Sometimes the police have been involved. A lot of work is now taking place to set boundaries with those boys, to understand what good behaviour looks like. The eldest boy has been really struggling. He has low self-esteem, low self-confidence, but the team here are working with him to help him look more positively at the future. Mum as well is being helped and is being supported to set those boundaries and also to look at her parenting skills.
Now, a young mum who found it difficult to give her family worker feedback face to face, but found a more modern approach. Finally, let's talk to another young mum who's been supported by family worker Jo Forbes. How has the Families First programme changed things for you?
Well, before Joe was involved, there was lots of people involved because of my ex, and I was quite aggressive because I didn't want all these people around. Since agreeing to give Joe a chance, it has made me believe that there are some people you can trust in authority. Before Joe, if anybody knocked at my door, I'd just be like, leave me alone, go away, I don't want any help. But giving Joe a chance has made me realise that they don't always want to take my kids away from me.
Thank you. And now, let's return to the leader of the council for his final thoughts.
What you've seen in this video is how we are implementing the Families First agenda to help families to cope with some of the difficult choices they have to make in their lives and to give them a positive outcome. You'll have seen the ways in which they have been helped, but it's not just about concentrating on a few families. It's actually about changing the way that we deliver services to families across the borough.